House Majority Whip, Minnesota Congressman Tom Emmer joins us now. Congressman, thanks so much for joining the program. You know, he is more focused on the response of many of us that are outraged than actually dealing with the problem here.
Lawrence, you say it very well. I mean, this guy says he takes responsibility for prosecuting these people. Tim Walz and his Attorney General Keith Ellison, since they took office, they have not only not investigated the fraud, they have purposely stopped investigating it. We've been trying to raise the alarm on this for over 3 years, Lawrence. Wow. Over 3 years, fraudsters have already stolen over $1 billion from the taxpayers in Minnesota under Tim Walz's watch, and the number is growing. You got the largest pandemic fraud case in the country, $250 million. By the way, no one in the Walz administration has been held accountable. And, you know, nobody's saying that all Somalis are criminals, but guess what? These crimes have been committed by Somali immigrants. In fact, over 70 people have been charged and are being tried and convicted, by the way, in the pandemic fraud case. But it doesn't stop there. You've got housing fraud. You've got daycare fraud. You've got 80 autism centers under investigation. All of this under Tim Walz's watch. And his response? God bless President Trump for actually saying something about this and calling it out. They won't even report it in the Twin Cities. And finally, because our president has pointed out how awful this is under this incompetent leadership of Tim Walz, people are actually starting to take notice. And look, the fact that Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, is going to look at whether this actually went to al-Shabaab terrorists in Somalia. Think about this, Lawrence. Al-Shabaab controls all the financial infrastructure in Somalia.
That's right.
This money has gone back to Somalia. Ergo, common sense would tell you that millions of dollars, taxpayer dollars from Minnesotans, has gone to terrorists known as al-Shabaab in Somalia. This is an awful situation. Tim Walz should be held accountable, and somebody in his administration, I'm just going to leave you with this, over $1 billion, Lawrence, you can't tell me that that's just negligent oversight. That's right. Someone is complicit, and maybe it's the governor because of his being he's not a smart man.
So the governor's responding. This is what he told Fox News Digital. Should a connection be found between Minnesota tax dollars and al-Shabaab, he welcomed an investigation. Welcome. Why don't you launch your own investigation? And I guess the big question is, since people did investigation, media reports were out there about this, they alerted the Kamala Harris campaign about this. Why are we just now finding out about this when he was almost the vice president of the United States?
Well, that's the whole point, Lawrence. Why are we just finding out about it? Because we have a left-wing media in the Minneapolis, St. Paul, Twin Cities area that has refused to cover this. The fourth establishment has not been digging into this. Very few of them have even brought it up. If it wasn't for the U.S. attorney prosecuting this $250 million fraud case, we found out that's just the tip of the iceberg. And now, thanks to President Trump calling this out in his way, only he has that bully pulpit to make a statement that people suddenly take notice. And what's Tim Walz's response? Well, you know, I'm not going to take responsibility for anything but prosecuting. Guess what? He not only hasn't done his own investigation and held anyone in his administration responsible for this $1 billion and growing number of fraud that has been bilked out of Minnesota taxpayers, he is absolutely taking no action against the criminals. It is the feds. The federal authorities are the ones that are prosecuting these people while Tim Walz stands by and gaslights the Minnesota taxpayer and goes after his favorite object, which is President Trump.
He can't run for reelection. This is disqualifying alone. Not a good steward of taxpayer funds. We'll see how it folds out. Thanks so much, Congressman. We appreciate you giving us some time this morning.
Thanks for covering it, Lawrence.
You got it.